My 27F husband, 26 meters, goes somewhere every Friday but won't tell me where. Me and my husband have had 4 kids. So a few months ago my husband started to go to one of his friends' houses on Fridays, or at least that's where he said he was going. So last Friday I tried to call my husband while he was at his friend's house because I wanted him to get groceries. He did not respond, so I called his friend. His friend said that he wasn't there, so I was confused. When he came home I asked him where he was and he said he was at his friend's house. I told him that I called his friend and he said he wasn't there. My husband said that he was there. I'm not sure what I should do. Can anyone please help me? Edit: I forgot to mention that my husband is terrible at keeping secrets and lying. He is really bad at it. Edit/update: I decided I'm going to ask my husband where he was when I go back home. Thank you all for the advice. If this was a TV show, he'd be going to dance classes, but it isn't. Just tell him straight up that you don't believe him and he needs to be honest or you won't be able to trust him. Tell him you're open to hearing him out, but in the absence of the truth, you can't help but assume the worst. Well, it could be either two things: he's cheating on you, or has a surprise for you. I feel like such an asshole and I'm sorry for that, but you should go up to him and straight up ask what he's doing. It's clearly causing you stress and discomfort as he continues acting suspicious. Third possibility: he's cooking meth. He may or may not be cheating on you, but he is clearly disappearing and lying to you. That's a deal breaker right there. I would force the issue. I also thought my ex was terrible keeping secrets, a bad liar and also a tech dummy, until I uncovered that he had an online alter ego for dalliances. I, 32 meters, feel like him losing my son, 9 meters. I don't mean this in a bad way. It's just something I'm having difficulties accepting. Myself, 32 meters, and my sons, 9 meters, mom, 32F. Have been separate for 9 years. We ended our relationship before my son's first birthday. She's a great person. We just were not compatible as a couple. The first several years were difficult for me, but she made it as easy as she could for me. We just had a verbal agreement that we would go 50-50 on everything. His time as a toddler was 2 weeks with her, 2 weeks with me. We split holidays. The co-parenting experience has been great. She never gave me a hard time. We communicated very well. No flirting, no romance, no what-ifs. Everything between us was very civil and friendly. Then it came time for him to go to school. Admittingly, she had a huge advantage. The schools around her were superior to the ones around me. And her biggest advantage: her younger sister was a stay-at-home babysitter. It was an easy choice for me. My son would attend school with her. It'd get him on weekends. Fast forward to today. His mom has another child, 7F, and the stay-at-home sister is still a stay-at-home sister with 3 children. His mom had to move to another state because her career took her that way. So they live there all together. For myself, I've been with my current job for 7 years, have my own home, have a girlfriend and stepson, 8 meters, and our own baby, 5 months old. Girlfriend is serious wife potential, so I'm happy. I get my son as often as I can, maybe once a month for just a short weekend. When he's with us, I can tell he misses his mom and siblings. The most time he spent with us is about 2 weeks and he became badly homesick. I absolutely understand that while growing up, both me and his mom made the best choices for him academic-wise. I would say in the past 2 years I've finally been able to set roots in and become very stable. My girlfriend really helped me grow. We have our own family. I miss my son. He grew so fast. He's doing great and I feel really good about his mom's family. It's just, I feel sad. I understand the phrase kids remember memories more than money, so when I do have him we try to do special things. Part of me gets sad when I think of him being a teenager or young adult. He'll always be here for him if he needs anything, but it sucks waiting for a phone call, or not seeing who his friends are, or just being there on a Tuesday evening after school. I'm a part of his life but I'm not in his life. life. I don't know if I make sense. I didn't lose him or he's not gone. I'm just sad that he's growing up with me 100% there. Side note, my time and attention absolutely go into my stepson and baby. I get this chance to raise my stepson, to sculpt him into a productive member of society, and hopefully, to help give him the foundations to be a happy adult. And my 5-month-old baby, fresh lump of clay for me to work with, haha. I miss my Thomas. Reading this made me very emotional. My parents were divorced when I was 3. In the beginning, my dad made effort to see me every other weekend. When I was around 7 he remarried and they had a kid and he basically forgot about me. To this day my dad and stepmom blame me for it, which I just had a self-discovery that that's ridiculous because I was a 7-year-old kid and he was an adult. All I would have asked for is for him to put in effort and care about me like you do for your son. Definitely keep it up. When he's older it really will mean a lot to him. Smile. 1. Skype/Zoom/FaceTime more often. 2. If he's homesick tell him that he can call his mom. 3. Continue to do special things, take loads of pictures, videos. 4. If you have any pictures of him of the special things you do together, make a photo book together and let him choose the pictures and tell him stories. 5. Do a lot of father/son stuff together and spend time just the two of you if possible. 6. Remember he's only 9 years old, you still have a lot of time with him before he becomes a teenager/adult. 7. Have meaningful conversations like what does he want to become when he's older, what you could do to improve your relationship so that he isn't so homesick. 8. Don't expect him to call you but call him more often, tell him that you love and you miss him and ask him what would he like to do the next time you're together again. 9. Don't wait a month to pass until you see him but make the effort to go visit him as well. I was your son. I saw my dad during the summers. Luckily I didn't get homesick. Till I knew my dad loved me. Given you and mom have always been split up, this is his normal. Regular calls go very far as well as surprise visits. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You two will find your own way to have a father-son relationship. Would it work for you to visit him in his state a few times a year? That way he gets to spend time with you while still in his comfort zone, sleeping in his own bed, etc. What is his space like when he stays with you? I.e., does he have his own stuff he leaves at your house? His picture up around the house as visual reminders that he is welcome there? Do you talk or FaceTime with him daily? You don't necessarily need to physically see him to be close, especially in this day and age. Not daily. With a 9 years old they should talk what suits them both. A 9 years old knows what he likes. And a few more years and they rather not hang with their folks. I, 22F, had to tell my boyfriend, 26 meters, no to sex 3 times within 10 minutes. Is he trying to coerce me? I was really exhausted as I'd just gotten off my second night at a fairly physical job. I went to see him for a bit as this job takes up a lot of time and I missed him. I just wanted to cuddle a bit before going home to sleep for the night. Anyway, this is what I wrote, but I don't want to send it if I'm overreacting. I felt scared and sad when you didn't accept my no to sex and asked me 2 more times even though I had made it clear I didn't want to. It felt like you didn't care about how I felt or the fact I'd already said no. If I changed my mind I would tell you. But when you ask so many times it feels like I'm being pressured into it. It makes me feel manipulated when you complain a lot about how it's uncomfortable, how you haven't come in so long and you need to, etc. Every once in a while complaining about that would be fine, but this happens very often when I say no and that makes it feel like you're just saying it to get a yes. I need my no to mean no. Update, I sent the message and he was very sweet in his reply. He simply didn't realize it made me feel that way, and he said he would never do it again. I never reacted negatively. Mental health issues hinder my ability to express negative emotions and even process that I feel them in the moment. I've read your update. If he does this again, you 100% need to break it off in my opinion. Tell him about masturbation, it is great for getting off and not whining about it. Also your text looks fantastic and I hope he gets his act together and stops acting like a child. I dated a guy like this in high school and it took me years to realize he was coercing and manipulating me into sex. At one point he even sexually assaulted me, guess it'd fall under molestation. He never took no for an answer and would just laugh at me when I'd get upset with him when he wouldn't listen to me saying no over and over. He thought it was a game, no matter how I explained to him it's not a game and I'm deadly serious. But anytime I was in the mood and he wasn't, he'd tell me how sex isn't important and not a big deal and we don't have to do it all the time, but when he wanted it and I didn't, he'd tell me how it's super important to do in a relationship and all this BS to try and convince me. I'm glad your guy seems to be aware of how he upset you. I hope he's honest about his response and will treat you better now. But if he doesn't and things go back to how they were, run. He didn't realize no means no. Wow. You have every right to tell him how you feel. Coming from a horny male.